Have you ever wondered how long you might live after 75? Believe it or not, your body is already giving you the answer through subtle signs that most people ignore. It's like a secret language your body speaks, and if you know how to listen, it can reveal a lot about your future. Many seniors assume longevity is pure luck, a genetic lottery they either won or lost. But doctors and researchers say otherwise. They've discovered that while genetics play a role, your daily habits, emotional patterns, and physical clues can often predict how many healthy years you still have ahead. It's about understanding the signals your body is sending you. In today's video, we'll reveal 7 powerful signs hidden in your body and lifestyle that indicate whether you're aging gracefully or heading toward decline without realizing it. We'll decode the messages your body is constantly broadcasting, so you can take control of your health and longevity. These signs have nothing to do with expensive medical tests or complicated procedures. Instead, they're rooted in your energy, your mindset, and the quiet rhythms of your body that reflect the strength of your heart, brain, and immune system. It's about paying attention to the subtle cues that reveal your body's inner workings. So before you assume your best years are behind you, pay attention. The truth is, your body whispers long before it screams, and if you listen closely, it might just tell you how long you can live and how much better those years can be. It's like having a wise old friend who knows your body inside and out and is willing to share its secrets. Now, let's get started. Sign 1, your walking speed. One of the most accurate and fascinating indicators of how long you may live after 75 is something most people never think twice about. Your walking speed. It seems so simple, so ordinary, but it holds a wealth of information. Studies from major health institutions show that seniors who naturally walk faster tend to live longer and maintain better brain health. It's not about athletic ability or trying to break any records. It's about how efficiently your heart, muscles, and nervous system still communicate with each other. It's a measure of your body's overall vitality and coordination. When your stride is steady and confident, it tells a story. It says your cardiovascular system is strong, your muscles are responsive, and your reflexes are sharp. These are all vital markers of longevity. It's like your body is conducting a symphony, and everything is playing in harmony. But when your steps become short, slow, or hesitant, that's your body signaling that your internal systems are losing coordination. It's like the orchestra is starting to fall out of sync. The body starts to prioritize energy for survival, not activity, and that shift often precedes rapid decline. It's a sign that your body is conserving resources, rather than investing in movement and vitality. Think about how walking reflects your whole state of being. It's not just a physical act, it's a reflection of your energy, your motivation, and your overall well-being. When you walk briskly, you send oxygen through your bloodstream, strengthen your heart, and stimulate your brain. It's like a natural form of medicine that keeps everything in harmony. It's a holistic activity that benefits your entire body and mind. Even 5 to 10 minutes of daily walking can rejuvenate your body's rhythm. It can be a powerful tool for revitalizing your energy and improving your overall health. It's a small investment of time that can yield significant rewards. Take Mary, a 78-year-old woman who used to rely on her cane for every step. She felt like her body was betraying her, and she was losing her independence. Her doctor suggested a simple plan: walk indoors for 5 minutes a day at a pace that raised her heart rate slightly. It seemed like a small thing, but it had a profound impact. Within months, her stability improved, her energy returned, and she felt a new sense of freedom. She once said, "The day I started walking again was the day I started living again." It was like she had rediscovered a lost part of herself, and she was filled with a renewed sense of purpose. Your walking speed is more than movement. It's a mirror, reflecting your body's inner vitality. It's a window into your overall health and well-being. If you notice your pace slowing, don't accept it as just aging. It's your body's request for action. It's a signal that you need to take steps to revitalize your health and energy. Gentle leg exercises, stretching, and consistent movement can rebuild your rhythm and, in turn, add years to your life. It's about taking control of your health and refusing to let age define you. Longevity isn't found in a supplement or secret formula. It's in every step you take with purpose and energy. It's about embracing movement as a way of life. So ask yourself, when was the last time you took a brisk walk and felt truly alive? That single act may be one of the clearest signs that your best years aren't over. They're waiting for you just down the path. It's an invitation to embrace life with energy and enthusiasm. Sign 2. Your grip strength. Another revealing sign of how long you might live after 75 is hidden right in your hands, your grip strength. It's something we often take for granted, but it speaks volumes about our overall health. It might sound simple, but the firmness of your handshake says more about your overall health than most people realize. It's a quick and easy way to assess your physical condition. Research consistently shows that grip strength is one of the strongest predictors of longevity, because it reflects the condition of your muscles, nerves, and heart all working together. It's a comprehensive measure of your body's overall strength and vitality. When your grip is strong, it means your body's internal systems are communicating properly. Your muscles are well fed by blood flow, your nervous system is active, and your metabolism is still efficient. It's a sign that your body is functioning optimally. But when your grip weakens, it often signals more than just aging muscles. It can mean your body is losing coordination between your brain and limbs, or that chronic inflammation and muscle loss known as sarcopenia have started setting in. It's a warning sign that your body needs attention. Think about how often you use your hands without realizing it. Opening a jar, lifting groceries, turning a doorknob, holding a cup. These simple actions depend on dozens of muscles, nerves, and tendons working in perfect harmony. They're essential for maintaining independence and quality of life. A firm grip isn't just about physical strength, it's a reflection of vitality and confidence. It's a sign that you're capable and able to handle the challenges of daily life. Seniors who maintain their hand strength often report feeling more capable and independent in daily life. They're able to continue doing the things they enjoy, and they feel more in control of their lives. While those with weak hands tend to withdraw from activities they once enjoyed, they may feel limited and frustrated, and their quality of life can suffer. Take Charles, an 80-year-old veteran who noticed his hands trembling while carrying groceries. He was concerned about losing his independence and becoming a burden to his family. Instead of accepting it, he began squeezing a soft rubber ball for 10 minutes daily and added light resistance exercises with water bottles. It was a simple but effective strategy. Within weeks his grip improved, his arms felt stronger, and even his posture straightened. More importantly, he said his mind felt sharper, because movement reactivates the brain's connection to the body. It's a reminder that physical activity can have a positive impact on both your body and your mind. Longevity isn't just about adding years, it's about maintaining the control to live those years well. It's about being able to enjoy your life to the fullest, without limitations. So the next time you shake someone's hand, remember, it's not just a greeting, it's a small but powerful sign of how much life still flows through you. It's a connection between two people and a reflection of their overall health and vitality. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 2 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Sign 3. your appetite and sense of taste, a surprisingly powerful clue to how long you might live after 75 lies in something as ordinary as your appetite. It's easy to overlook, but it can reveal a lot about your overall health and well-being. The way you experience hunger, enjoy food, and even notice flavors can quietly reflect the state of your metabolism, circulation, and brain function. It's a subtle indicator of how well your body is functioning. When appetite fades or taste becomes dull, it often signals that your body is no longer processing nutrients effectively, and that can accelerate physical and cognitive decline. It's a warning sign that your body is not getting the fuel it needs to thrive. You see, your sense of taste and smell are connected to the same nerves that communicate directly with your brain's memory centers. It's a direct link between your senses and your brain. When those nerves weaken, it doesn't just affect your meals, it can indicate early changes in your brain's resilience. It can be an early sign of cognitive decline. Seniors who report losing their appetite or interest in food often begin losing weight unintentionally, and that's one of the earliest warning signs of a weakened immune system. It's a sign that your body is struggling to maintain its defenses. But here's the fascinating part. Those who maintain a healthy appetite and still enjoy the flavor of simple foods like vegetables or fresh fruits usually have stronger blood flow to the brain and better digestive health. It's a sign that your body is functioning well and getting the nutrients it needs. Their bodies continue to absorb vitamins and minerals efficiently, keeping energy and mental clarity high. They're able to maintain their vitality and cognitive function. Take Elaine, a 76-year-old woman who noticed that everything started tasting bland. She thought it was just aging, but her doctor found that her zinc levels were low and her digestive system was slowing down. It was a reminder that even seemingly minor changes can have a significant impact on your health. After adding more protein, hydration, and mild exercise into her routine, her sense of taste improved, and so did her mood and alertness. She said once food started tasting good again, life did too. It was like she had rediscovered a lost joy, and her overall quality of life improved significantly. Loss of appetite isn't just about food. It's your body's way of saying it's losing enthusiasm for living. It's a sign that your body needs to be revitalized and re-energized. Reignite it by eating slowly, using herbs and natural seasonings, and sharing meals with others. Make mealtimes an enjoyable and social experience. The social aspect of eating can boost dopamine and serotonin, the same hormones that protect the brain from depression and memory loss. It's a reminder that food is not just about nutrition, it's also about connection and community. So if your meals still make you smile, if you savor flavors and look forward to eating, that's not just good digestion. It's a strong sign your body still has the drive to live longer and better. It's a sign that you're still engaged with life and enjoying its simple pleasures. And if you've lost that joy, take it as a signal to nourish yourself back to life, one flavorful bite at a time. It's never too late to rediscover the pleasure of eating and to revitalize your body and mind. Sign 4. Your sleep quality. The way you sleep after 75 is far more revealing than most people realize. It's not just about getting enough hours, it's about the quality of your sleep. Deep, restorative sleep is one of the strongest signs that your body is still maintaining balance physically, mentally, and hormonally. It's a sign that your body is able to repair and rejuvenate itself effectively. On the other hand, fragmented or restless sleep can be a sign that your body is struggling to repair itself. It's a warning sign that your body is not getting the rest it needs to function properly. When you sleep well, your body releases growth hormones that repair muscles, clean toxins from your brain, and reset your immune system. It's like your body is undergoing a nightly tune-up. In fact, during the deepest stage of sleep, Your brain literally washes itself through a process called glymphatic clearance, removing proteins that are linked to dementia and Alzheimer's disease. It's a critical process for maintaining cognitive function and preventing neurodegenerative diseases. Seniors who sleep soundly, wake up refreshed, and rarely nap excessively during the day tend to live longer, sharper, and happier lives. They're able to maintain their vitality and cognitive function, and they enjoy a higher quality of life. But when sleep becomes shallow, when you wake up frequently, toss and turn, or rely on sleeping pills, your body loses that nightly recovery cycle. It's like your body is missing out on its nightly tune-up. Over time, this leads to fatigue, mood swings, and even a weakened immune response. It can have a significant impact on your overall health and well-being. Poor sleep is also connected to higher blood pressure, slower metabolism, and memory issues. It's a risk factor for a wide range of health problems. Take Harold, a 79-year-old man who used to wake up every 2 hours at night. He believed it was just part of getting older. He had resigned himself to a life of restless nights and daytime fatigue. But after reducing his caffeine intake, walking in the morning sunlight daily, and keeping a consistent bedtime, his sleep improved dramatically. He took control of his sleep habits and made simple changes that had a profound impact. He said, "It felt like my body started healing again," and he was right. His energy returned, and even his blood tests showed improvement. It was a testament to the power of good sleep to revitalize the body and mind. Here's the truth: good sleep doesn't just make you feel better, it literally extends your life. It's a vital component of overall health and longevity. It's during sleep that your cells regenerate, your brain stores memories, and your body balances key hormones. It's a time of intense repair and rejuvenation. Seniors who average 7 to 8 hours of restful sleep consistently have a significantly lower risk of chronic disease and early death. It's a compelling argument for prioritizing sleep. If you often feel tired even after sleeping, it's worth reviewing your bedtime habits. Identify factors that may be disrupting your sleep and make changes to improve your sleep quality. Avoid screens before bed. Keep your room cool and dark and go to bed and wake up at the same times every day. Create a relaxing bedtime routine to prepare your body for sleep. These small changes tell your body it's time to rest and rebuild. They signal to your body that it's time to enter a state of repair and rejuvenation. So if you sleep deeply, dream clearly, and wake up ready for the day, that's one of the clearest signs that your internal clock and your lifespan are still in strong alignment. It's a sign that your body is functioning optimally and that you're on track for a long and healthy life. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 4 below to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. Your support helps us continue creating good content to inform and inspire you. Now, let's move forward. Sign 5, your walking speed. One of the most reliable indicators of how long you might live after 75 is something simple: how fast you walk. It's a measure of your overall physical function and vitality. It's not about racing anyone down the street, but about how naturally and confidently your body moves when you're just going about your day. It's about your natural gait and how easily you move through the world. Studies show that seniors who walk at a steady, energetic pace tend to live longer, healthier lives than those who shuffle or slow down significantly. It's a consistent finding across numerous studies. Walking speed reflects the harmony between your heart, lungs, muscles, and brain. It's a measure of how well all these systems are working together. When all these systems are functioning well, your steps are strong and rhythmic. You move with ease and confidence. But when your body starts to lose coordination, balance, or energy, your walking pace often slows before any other symptom appears. It's a subtle but important sign that something may be amiss. That's why doctors call walking speed the sixth vital sign. It's a quick and easy way to assess a patient's overall health and well-being. Think about it, walking is one of the most complex motions we do unconsciously. It requires your brain to plan, your heart to pump oxygen, your muscles to contract, and your nerves to respond in milliseconds. It's a remarkable feat of coordination and efficiency. A brisk, confident stride means your entire system is still working together like a well-tuned machine. It's a sign that your body is functioning optimally and that you're in good health. Take Alina, a 78-year-old woman who noticed she was walking slower each year. She was concerned about losing her mobility and independence. She began timing her daily walks and realized her pace had dropped by nearly half compared to when she was 70. It was a wake-up call. Her doctor explained that it wasn't just about her legs, it was a sign her muscles and circulation were weakening. It was a sign that her overall physical function was declining. Determined to reverse it, she started short morning walks, gradually increasing her pace while holding small hand weights. She took control of her health and made a commitment to improving her mobility. Within months, not only did her stride improve, but her mood, appetite, and sleep also got better. It was a holistic improvement in her overall well-being. A faster walking speed is linked to sharper memory, stronger immunity, and better balance, all of which reduce the risk of falls and chronic illness. It's a protective factor against age-related decline. Even more importantly, it boosts your confidence and independence. It allows you to maintain your active lifestyle and continue doing the things you enjoy. Seniors who move with energy tend to stay socially active, which further extends lifespan. Social engagement is a critical component of healthy aging. If you want to test your longevity at home, try this walk 15 ft at your normal pace and time yourself. It's a simple and easy way to assess your walking speed. If you move steadily and without hesitation, that's a great sign. It suggests that your body is functioning well and that you're in good health. If it takes effort or your balance feels shaky, that's your body asking for movement. It's a sign that you need to take steps to improve your mobility and strength. Start with short daily walks, strengthen your legs, and challenge yourself to walk a little faster each week. Gradually increase your pace and distance as you become stronger. Every step you take is a message to your body that you intend to keep living actively. It's a declaration of your commitment to health and vitality. A strong stride isn't just mobility, it's life itself in motion. It's a symbol of your ability to engage with the world and enjoy all that life has to offer. Sign 6, your grip strength. It may sound simple, but the strength of your grip reveals more about your health and lifespan than most medical tests. It's a quick, easy, and surprisingly informative measure of your overall well-being. Researchers have found that seniors with strong hand grip strength tend to live longer, stay mentally sharper, and recover faster from illness or surgery. It's a consistent finding across numerous studies. Your grip is not just about your hands, it's a direct reflection of your overall muscle tone, nerve function, and heart health. It's a comprehensive measure of your body's overall strength and vitality. Think about what it takes to squeeze someone's hand firmly. That single motion involves your muscles, joints, circulation, and even the strength of your nervous system. It's a complex and coordinated effort. When your grip weakens, it often signals that your body is losing muscle mass and coordination, both of which are critical to survival as you age. It's a warning sign that your body needs attention and that you need to take steps to maintain your strength and function. A firm grip also connects to independence. It helps you open jars, carry groceries, and support yourself if you stumble. It allows you to maintain your independence and continue doing the things you enjoy. Seniors who lose grip strength are statistically more likely to experience falls, bone fractures, or hospitalizations. It's a significant risk factor for age-related decline and disability. On the other hand, those who maintain a strong grip show better metabolism, stronger immune systems, and fewer cardiovascular problems. It's a protective factor against a wide range of health problems. Consider George, an 82-year-old who used to think lifting small weights was unnecessary. He dismissed it as something for younger people. But after struggling to open bottles and noticing how easily his hands tired, he started doing simple hand exercises with a stress ball and resistance bands. He realized that he needed to take action to maintain his strength and function. Within 3 months, his grip strength improved, and he noticed he could climb stairs and hold his balance better too. It was a holistic improvement in his overall physical function and well-being. He laughed and said, "Who knew my hands would give me my confidence back?" It was a reminder that even small improvements in physical function can have a significant impact on your confidence and quality of life. Grip strength also connects directly to brain health. The muscles in your hands are tightly linked to your central nervous system, so keeping them active stimulates the parts of your brain responsible for coordination and memory. It's a direct connection between your hand strength and your cognitive function. That's why activities like gardening, cooking, or even lightweight training can keep both your body and your mind in sync. They engage both your physical and cognitive abilities, promoting overall health and well-being. You don't need a gym or fancy tools to improve grip strength. Try squeezing a tennis ball for a few seconds, opening and closing your fist repeatedly, or holding light weights while walking. It's the consistency that counts. Small, consistent efforts can yield significant results over time. Your hands are among the first to show signs of aging, but they can also show your body's will to fight back. They're a symbol of your resilience and your determination to maintain your strength and vitality. If your grip remains strong, it's a message from your muscles to your heart and your brain: we're still in this together. It's a sign that your body is functioning well and that you're on track for a long and healthy life. If you're still watching this video and finding these insights valuable, please comment number 6 below to let me know you're here.